Okay, so we're almost done. We're on best ongoing game. Awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. This is the this is the category where it has Marvel Rivals in it. I was hoping Marvel Rivals would get in the best multiplayer category, but it didn't. I guess it just didn't make the cut. I mean, it didn't make the cutoff last year, and so like I guess so many other multiplayer games have come out since then that it's just like it's not. Even though like Marvel Rivals is still popular, I would argue. Like it's still, I mean, a lot of people still play it and everything, but at least it's in one category, and so I mean that's nice. And so best, what do we have? Okay, so we have Final Fantasy 14, we have Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky, and Marvel Rivals. Yeah, I mean the only game in this category that I put hours and hours, especially this year, into was Marvel Rivals, and like I really enjoy the content in that game. The updates that they have in that game. I mean, they recently just added Daredevil. I made a video talking about my experience with, playing Daredevil in the game and everything. I mean, it's Marvel. I love superheroes, and I mean, it's Overwatch, but with superheroes. And so, like, just based off that, you got me hooked. Like literally, like I'm addicted to this game. And freaking Marvel Tokon Souls. I mean, that's another game where it's a fighting game, and I usually don't play fighting games like that, but since it is Marvel and it's superheroes, I'm just more inclined to try it out just because of that. And so yeah, man, I'm gonna have to go with Marvel Rivals on this one because that's the game I played the most, and yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that one. Okay, so games for impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. In this category, we have Consume Me, Despelite, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, South of Midnight, and Wonderstop. Okay, so out of all of these, I have played Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. I remember playing that game at the beginning of the year. Looking back on that game, because I was gonna do maybe a review on the game when it first came out and everything. Didn't do that. But if I had to give my thoughts and opinions on it now after playing it and everything, I liked it. I think it was, in terms of the story, it was kind of weak a little bit. I think the things I enjoy, I mean, it was a choice-based game, and when it comes to those types of games, especially with Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, and then you had Dispatch this year, I was looking forward to both of those games, mainly because when it comes to choice-based games, I'm usually not able to experience them for myself. I usually just watch a YouTuber or a streamer play them, and so the fact that I even got to play Lost Records, Bloom and Rage and experience for myself and everything was pretty cool. I think the thing I liked most about the game was the fact that it was set in, I'm pretty sure it was set in the 80s, the use of color in the game, of the use of pink and purple and all these different colors I really enjoy. The characters, I feel like the characters were kind of forgettable in my opinion. Same with the story. I mean, I liked it. I think I liked aspects of it. I think remembering a little bit more of the game, I know you had the main character would always carry around a camcorder, and you would record things and everything. And so that part of the game I liked. But I mean, if I had to give it a score, I would probably give it a 6 out of 10. Maybe 6.5 out of 10. I liked it, but in terms of if I had to compare Lost Records, just based off choice-based games, if I had to compare Lost Records, Bloom and Rage to Dispatch, I definitely enjoyed Dispatch way more as a choice-based game. And so yeah, I mean, that's the only game that I've played on this list. I know South of Midnight, that was another game that I low-key wanted to try out just because of the art design of the game and the character designs and in just like some of the music that they had in the game, I thought was, you know, interesting, and it being like set in like the deep south and everything. I didn't get to try it. Consume Me, I don't know anything about. Despelite, I don't know anything about. Wonder Stop, don't know anything about. And so if I had to choose the one game out of this category, I'm gonna have to go with Lost Records Blooming Range, but that's the only game I tried. So yeah. Okay, innovation in accessibility. Recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. Okay, so we have Assassin's Creed Shadows, Adamfall, Doom the Dark Ages, EA Sports FC 26 in South of Midnight. Okay, what is this for? Innovation in accessibility. Okay, so I think this I think this is the category basically for like games that like, especially when it comes to, I guess, I don't know. I think this is for when they have like the settings for like the different, what am I trying to say? The freaking, when they have like the freaking, you know, options in the settings. I know, like, I guess one game that comes to mind is like The Last of Us Part 2. I know that game had like a lot of different accessibility features with like I think for like blind people, they had like a thing to where like, they like, I don't know what specifically they had for like, because I remember there was like a documentary for The Last of Us Part 2, and they had one section where they had like this blind person like play testing the game, and they had like a feature to where like he was able to play the game with like a, I don't know if it was like a sound effect that they had, or they had like some like I don't know, but like that's basically what this category is. And so out of all these games, I mean, I don't really know like what game out of out of this list did freaking innovation in accessibility the best. I didn't play Assassin's Creed Shadows. I haven't played Adamfall. I don't play EA Sports FC 26, and I haven't played South of Midnight. And so the only game that I've played on here is Doom the Dark Ages, and I don't really know if that game has like, I mean, it's on this list, so I'm assuming that it has like something in terms of like accessibility. I mean, that's the only game that I've played on this list, and so I mean, if I'm gonna have to pick one, I think it's gonna have to be Doom the Dark Ages because that's the only game that I've played, and I don't really, yeah. So I think I'm gonna pick that one. Okay, so we have best performance awarded to an individual for voice over acting, motion, and or performance capture. Okay, we have some pretty big hitters in this category. All right, starting off, we have Ben Starr for Clay Obscure Expedition 33. We have Charlie Cox, my freaking goat, freaking Daredevil, freaking Gustav, for Clay Obscure Expedition 33. We have Erica Ishii for Ghost of Yote. We have Jennifer English for Clay Obscure Expedition 33. We have Kanatsu Katu for Silent Hill F. And we have Troy Baker for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Okay, so okay, so yeah, this list is especially dominated by just Expedition 33 cast members. Freaking Ben Starr was, who'd he play? He played motherfucking Verso. That's what he played. I don't know why I couldn't remember his character's name, but he played Verso in that game. Jennifer English, she played Mael. Charlie Cox, he played Gustav. It's funny because I've seen like I've seen like clips of like people asking Charlie Cox like what he thought about Expedition 33 because he's in the game. And every time it's like brought up to him, he just has no idea what they're talking about. Like he just like I'm assuming like he just doesn't really know. I'm also assuming that he just doesn't play games at all. Like he doesn't really seem like the type of person that plays games or anything like that. But yeah, it's just funny because I've seen like clips of like just people asking him about his character and about the game, and he just has no idea anything about, you know, how popular the game is just in general, which is pretty funny because it's pretty popular. And so I mean, he did a pretty good job as Gustav in the game, like his acting performance and everything for him, because he's not mainly a voice actor. Like that's not like his main thing. He doesn't usually do games, and so for this being like one of his only video game performances, I mean, he did a pretty good job in my opinion. I know he also voiced, I mean, I know he does the live action portrayal of Daredevil, but I think he also played the animated version of Daredevil and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which was like an animated Spider-Man TV show. It's actually pretty good. You should actually check it out. But also in this category, we have Erika Ishii. She played Atsu in Ghost of Yote. I thought she did a pretty good job. I mean, yeah, I think she did a pretty good job. I think she did a pretty good job in that role. Troy Baker as Indiana Jones. It's nice that Indiana Jones is getting a lot of love, you know, especially since it came out last year. They could have easily not have nominated it for anything. And so the fact that it is in best performance, it's in best action and adventure, that is pretty cool, to be honest. You know, he does a pretty good, you know, I guess Harrison Ford impression, even though, like, I feel like he does like a good mix of like doing his own thing and also doing a Harrison Ford impression, I feel like. So in Konatsu Katsu, I'm assuming that she does the Japanese voiceover for Silent Hill F. I didn't play the game in Japanese. I played it in English dubbing, and so the performance that I heard was from, I forget the actress's name. Yeah, Susie Young, that's the actress's name that plays like the English dubbing version of the character in Silent Hill F. I also know that she does Yuffie in the Final Fantasy games, and I actually didn't know this until recently, but she also does the voice for Invisible Woman in Marvel Rivals. I didn't know that until recently, so that's also pretty cool. So it kind of sucks that she's not on here, but I mean, like, you know, maybe Konatsu Katsu did, you know, a pretty good job as well. I mean, I don't want to, you know, downplay her performance, you know, at all. So yeah, Ben Starr, he did a pretty good, I mean, Ben Starr is a pretty well-known voice actor at this point. He's been in a lot of games. Jennifer English, she did a pretty good job as Mael. I know she, I think yesterday was the Golden Joystick Awards, and she was nominated for Best Performance. She actually ended up winning, so there could be a possible chance that she wins this category too. If I had to pick one, it's probably gonna be between either one of the Expedition 33 performances, and out of the three, I'm looking at Ben Starr, Charlie Cox, Jennifer English. I'm trying to decide which one I enjoyed the most from a performance standpoint. I feel like, I mean, they all did really good. I feel like this is pretty hard to pick, but if I had to choose one, you know, I want to go with Charlie Cox because it's Charlie Cox and he plays Daredevil, and I love Daredevil and everything. But I mean, I don't want to be biased. I think I'm gonna go at Mael, mainly because I feel like from a performance standpoint, she did the most. Not saying that Charlie Cox or Ben Starr didn't do, you know, well, but I feel like, I don't know, she just had the most like character work out of all the characters, and like she just, I don't know, like she I don't know, like, I don't want to say she had the best performance, even if she had a really good performance. They all did, but like, if I had to pick one, if I had to like say who was my favorite character, I'd probably say Mael, because she had a lot going for her in terms of her character and everything. And yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Jennifer English on this one. yeah, I think I'm gonna go with her. So, okay, so apparently, I didn't realize, but I wasn't recording. Yeah, I'm just making all these mistakes when it comes to this video. But I thought I was recording, and I had gotten to best audio design, and I was just freaking yapping about which game I thought would win best audio design. I gave it to Ghost of Yotei, mainly because I don't know, like I don't really have a strong opinion about this freaking category. I feel like if there was like one game that really outdid all the other games in terms of like best audio design, I would give it to that. But I don't know, like I feel like out of all these freaking options, I mean, I'm looking at Battlefield 6. I mean, that game, I mean, I'm assuming has good audio design or sound design, basically because, you know, it's freaking, there's explosions happening every like 5 seconds, so you're freaking shooting people with guns, and so I'm pretty sure the audio design has to sound good, somewhat. And so Clair Obscur Expedition 33 had some pretty good sound design. Death Stranding 2 did not play that, but I'm assuming that game had good sound design. Silent Hill F maybe too, I don't know. But I don't know, I just went with Ghost of Yotei because I don't know, that's the one I'm just feeling the most. And so we're gonna go with that one. Okay, best score in music for outstanding music inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. In this category, we have Christopher Larkin for Hollow Knight Silksong, Darren Korb for Hades 2, Lurian Tostard for Expedition 33, Toma Atoa for Ghost of Yotei, and Woodkid and Ludwig for Cell for Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. Okay, so looking at these games, I mean, Expedition 33 had a freaking banger soundtrack. Freaking every song in that game is a freaking masterpiece. God dang. Ghost of Yotei had some pretty good music too. I think I enjoyed, even though I enjoyed the music in Ghost of Yotei, I feel like that's another thing that I think I enjoyed more in Ghost of Tsushima was the music. I feel like just the music in Ghost of Tsushima had more of an impact on me, more than Ghost of Yotei. So, and I mean, Death Stranding 2, even though I haven't played that game, I will say that's one thing about the Death Stranding games. Like, even though, you know, before I had even played Death Stranding 1, I had listened to like a lot of the licensed music for that game, and I thought like that was like one of the things like I liked the most, even though I hadn't played the game yet. And so I feel like that's the same thing with Death Stranding 2. Like, I haven't played that game yet, but some of the music I have heard for that game, or some of the licensed music I've heard, especially for like Woodkid, and I'm pretty sure also Caroline Polachek is another artist that's, you know, in that game. I heard some of the music that, you know, she had for that game as well, and it's pretty good. And so, yeah, that's one of the things I enjoyed the most about Death Stranding is like the music from that game. I think it's pretty good. But, you know, Expedition 33 had some really good music. Like, it had some good, I mean, I had a lot of the songs that were in that game I had on my Spotify this year that I was listening to. And so, yeah, if I have to pick one, I think it's gonna have to be Expedition 33, because that game had some really outstanding good music, bro. So, okay, best art direction for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. In this category, we have, best art direction, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silksong. I feel like this could easily go to Expedition 33. Again, like I said, I mean, it's gonna freaking sweep the Game Awards, but like, looking at these other games, I feel like, you know, Death Stranding 2, I mean, I feel like out of all these games, Death Stranding 2 has the most realistic art, or a realistic, I guess, art design. I mean, in terms of just like the graphics and everything. I mean, even though it looks the most realistic, I will say just like how wacky and out there some of the character designs are for that game. I mean, you could argue that it, is just like from a from a weird aspect. I mean, it has that going for it. Ghost of Yote, obviously, I will admit that like while playing that game, Ghost of Yote, like just like when you're riding on the horse and you're just looking out into like the horizon, you're looking at like the different locations in that game. It almost like feels like you're looking at a painting. That's how like well like designed it looks and everything. I definitely will give it that. I enjoyed the art design in Ghost of Yote. Hades 2, I will say every time I see a trailer or like a animated trailer for Hades 2, I'm like, God dang, this looks good, even though I haven't played the game. Hollow Knight Silksong, looks pretty cool as well. I mean, the art design in that game looks pretty cool, and so if I'm leaning between two, it's probably between Expedition 33 and Ghost of Yote. But I mean, let's be honest, Expedition 33 is gonna win this game, or win this, category. I mean, Expedition 33 had some, just in terms of like, the art design in that game, the use of the idea of the canvas and like, everything feeling and looking like a painting in that game as well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to Expedition 33. Yeah. Just because I do think it is good. It is gonna win this category, and also it did have some pretty good art direction too. Like I don't know, art direction that I feel like I haven't really seen in a game before either. Just because it's like French based, and so like I had a lot of French things, I guess, mixed in with it too, in terms of with like the other, with the painting and the canvas and all that kind of stuff as well. And so, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Expedition 33 for this one as well. So, okay, so we have up next Best Narrative for Outstanding Storytelling and Narrative Development in a Game. In this category, we have Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Silent Hill F. Okay, so we're getting to the categories where I'm just like, I'm able to really give my opinion on some of these now. Expedition 33 had an amazing narrative, especially, I mean, if you haven't played Expedition 33, I'm gonna spoil the ending of Expedition 33. And so if you haven't played the game, I mean, I just skipped this part. I don't know. But I mean, if you haven't played this game at this point, I mean, what are you doing? Why are you even watching this video? Yeah, Expedition 33. I mean, just the ending alone for that game, like having to choose between, the two characters of Verso and Mael, and having to make that decision was such a big narrative thing just in that game alone. It's probably one of my favorite things about that game was the ending, and how like just hard of a choice it was to make between those two characters, because they both had strong arguments for why they were doing, what they were doing, but like, god dang, it was so good. Death Stranding 2, I haven't played that game, so I really don't know anything about the narrative in that game, but I'm assuming it's just super out there and freaking wacky, just like the first game, probably even more so than the first game. Ghost of Yote, like I said, I enjoyed Ghost of Yote, but I did think the story in that game was lacking a little bit, in terms of like, not saying I didn't care about the story, but like I just feel like it was more basic in terms of like stories, especially compared to the first game. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I didn't play that game. I don't know anything about the story in that game, so I can't really comment on that one. Silent Hill F, I did play recently and beat. I enjoyed the story of that game. I mean, when it comes to the Silent Hill games, like they're psychological horrors, they're meant to make you second guess what's happening in the game or with the story just in general, in terms of like the characters and the freaking how weird that game can get as well. So I enjoyed the story in Silent Hill F, but yeah, I'm definitely, yeah, if I had to pick one again, man, it's definitely, I think it's definitely gonna have to go with Expedition 33 for this one. I mean, like I said, man, this game is gonna sweep, bro. This game is gonna like sweep all these awards, bro. Okay, so we're finally getting to the last two. Up next, we have Game Direction, awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. In this category, we have Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, and Split Fiction. Okay, so when it comes to when it comes to game direction, the thing we think about the most is what does the game do, I guess, new or different just in the year itself. When I look at these games, I'm looking at Split Fiction, and even though we've gotten It Takes Two and A Way Out, and it's it's already done that co-op style of game, Split Fiction was, even though I didn't play it, I've seen other people play it, and the sheer amount of like creativity that game has in terms of like the different just gameplay elements that it has, from switching between freaking sci-fi to fantasy, and the different gameplay elements that would arise because of the different settings and environments that you were in, were pretty cool. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, I mean, it's a turn-based RPG, and I feel like, I don't know, because I feel like in that game, in terms of like the turn-based RPG element of that game, when it comes to those types of games, it's usually you having to, I don't know, it's just you attacking and then the enemy attacking when it comes to turn-based RPGs. But with Expedition 33, it did something different, just in the fact that like it had like a parry and dodge mechanic, and that's, I feel like, something like you usually don't see in turn-based RPGs. So just for that, I feel like it brings something new in terms of that. Death Stranding 2, it's a sequel to Death Stranding 1, which in itself, I feel like Death Stranding 1, was doing something different, just with like how you're delivering packages and everything, and that's was different, I guess. And so Death Stranding 2, obviously, it does that again, but obviously, it does more, I'm assuming, with the gameplay and everything. Ghost of Yotei, I don't really see this winning Best Game Direction, mainly because it is like a direct sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, and I feel like it does a lot of the things that Ghost of Tsushima does. Granted, Ghost of Yotei does add on and builds upon some of the gameplay and exploration elements. I feel like it does a lot of the similar things that Ghost of Tsushima did. Granted, Ghost of Yotei did it well, in my opinion, but like it doesn't really do anything outstanding. Hades 2, I did not play, but it is a sequel to Hades 1, and so the Hades games are roguelikes, and I don't really usually play roguelike games. I think the last like roguelike game that I played, I remember God of War Ragnarok being like a roguelike game, and I really enjoyed that, for what it was. But I haven't played any of the Hades games, so yeah, I think this is going to go to Expedition 33. I can see this easily going to Expedition 33, and yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pick that one for Best Game Direction, in my opinion. So yeah. Okay, so we are on the last category for this set of nominations, or the set of, I don't know what the frick I'm trying to say. We're on the last one. We're on Game of the Year. Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. In this category, we have Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, And oh, okay, no, well, you have two more. Hollow Knight Silksong and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. When I made my predictions video, just going over what I thought would be in the Game of the Year nominations, the games that I did get right, obviously I got Expedition 33 right off the bat. I mean, that was a pretty obvious one to get right. Death Stranding 2, I got right. Donkey Kong Bonanza, I got right. I'm pretty sure I had Hollow Knight Silksong on my list as well. The only games that I assumed would get on the Game of the Year nominations, or the Game of the Year, was Ghost of Yotei. I think I had Ghost of Yotei on there, and I think I also had Split Fiction on there. Those are the only two games that I got wrong, because they're not on this list. And Hades 2 and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is on this list, and I think I actually said that like I could have easily seen Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 not making the list. So now that it's on the list, I kind of feel dumb now a little bit. But yeah, man. I mean, like, am I surprised that it's on the list? Maybe a little bit, just because I did think it wasn't going to make the list. But like, I mean, I heard a lot of good things about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 when it came out at the beginning of the year, and so I mean, I guess people really enjoyed it. So it, you know, it made the list. Hades 2 was another game that I was hearing about that could possibly, that had a strong possibility of making the list for Game of the Year, and it did. And so yeah, these are all the games. Starting off with, you know, Expedition 33. I feel like that's the one that people are assuming is going to win this category. I'm assuming it's going to win. I don't see it not winning this category, in my opinion. You know, it was the game that, you know, it was the most outstanding game of this year. Like, it had the most, people talked about it the most. It's the most relevant. You know, people still talk about it. You know, people make video essays on the game. People freaking cosplay as the characters when they go to conventions now. You know, the characters, the story, the gameplay, everything about Expedition 33 was a standout thing, you know, for this year. And so I can easily see it taking this category, to be honest. Looking at Death Stranding 2 on the beach, you know, I heard a lot of good things about that game. Donkey Kong Bonanza, I feel like I didn't really talk a lot about Donkey Kong Bonanza, but I mean, I didn't play the game, but like, just hearing what I heard from the game, it seems like a lot of people enjoyed that game as well. Hades 2, you know, the same thing. You know, a lot of people enjoy that game. Hollow Knight Silksong had a lot of hype surrounding it, you know, for an indie game. You know, that game, we always made the joke that like, will Hollow Knight Silksong ever come out? Is it gonna, you know, Hollow Knight Silksong is not a real game. It's not a real game, and it actually came out this year, and it had a lot of hype surrounding it. It had a lot of anticipation surrounding the game and everything, and to the point to where freaking when the game came out, like, you know, it was crashing eShops and everything, and people were so adamant to get this game that it was freaking just crashing websites and everything. And Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, you know, like I said, was a game that it seems like people really enjoyed early on in the year, and so, you know, it was enough for it to get on the Game of the Year list. And so, you know, looking at all of these games and everything, I could sit here and be like, hey, this game could possibly win, or this game could possibly win, but bro, let's be completely honest with ourselves. Expedition 33, it's going to win this category. Like, I feel like there's just no doubt about it. I couldn't sit here all day and talk about how any of these games has a shot of taking their award, but like, come on now. It's Expedition 33. You know, a lot of people have been talking about this game. I just feel like, yeah, I feel like that's the safest bet. It's the, yeah, man, it's Expedition 33, bro. Like, come on now. Like, what are we talking about? It's going to win this category. And, I mean, it gets my vote, obviously. And so, yeah, that's the game that I'm gonna go with, Expedition 33. And so, yeah, man, it gets my vote for Game of the Year. So yeah, man, that was I know that was this was a pretty long video, I feel like. And so yeah, that was me giving my thoughts and opinions on the nominations and the categories that I cared about most, you know, talking about and everything for the Game Awards. In the comments down below, what did you vote for in terms of like the nominations for, you know, the Game Awards? You know, were your nominations different from mine? You know, were there, you know, games that you chose that I didn't pick for, you know, certain nominations and everything? Leave all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. And yeah, man, that's gonna be it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. So yeah, bye.